I think I'm going to call it Facebook is Not the End. Yeah, that's a good title. I like that title. So, we'll do that one. Facebook is not the end. So, some of you may or may not know, or some of you may know, I should say, that got the notification. Actually, anyone on Facebook should know. Anyone who uses Facebook should already know that. And actually, before I continue, let me take a moment to say that this is being recorded as you can hear some background sounds, obviously night sounds, and with that, I have another series or so in the works. Well, not in the works. I've just done video or done chats and have to edit them and stuff. But doing a night sort of session with just background sounds and whatever for kind of a cool effect or whatever. I'm not sure exactly where it will be uploaded yet. Checking out other networks, which is kind of what this whole discussion is going to be about anyway, in relation. So there's that. Because I'm a night person. Well, I'm a both person. I like the night and the daytime. I like. I appreciate the night nature and all that stuff just as much as I do the daytime or whatever. On both sides. But I'm more of a active at night, I guess I would say. I've been that way all my life. But anyway, not to get too much off topic. So in relation to that is, going back to, if anyone with Facebook has gotten the notification that October 1st, 2020, Facebook is rolling out new system or new updates to their system, and basically translation is they can do whatever the fuck they want with your content, with or without your content, which includes deleting posts they don't feel are up to par with their lies and their censorship. And we all know what those entail by now. And so there, and as well as account deletion, page deletions, things of that nature. Censorship, basically. And now, and the reason I say this is because as of this moment, as of I'm recording this, my personal account, is disabled, under review. I submitted a review. I don't know why. Other time, and this is not the first time I've had an account be disabled either. In the past, other reasons, other reasons were bullshit too. But at least in the past, I understood why. And now maybe that's the censorship. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. So as of now, it's under review. And I will post, obviously I will post an update. I will add an update into the comments as to whether or not it has been back again and what's all up with it and all that stuff. However, the overall point is Facebook's not the end. Which means Facebook evolved basically from MySpace. MySpace is still around, but it's more of a music platform now. And MySpace, you can still use MySpace. You can still use, there's many other networks out there. Many other networks out there coming up, which are independently run, free from censorship. free from the corporation, free from the narrative of what is trying to be censored in the world due to the upcoming elections. They play a big part in all of this insanity. And the point of this is to anyone listening that, you know, may feel like it's gonna, first and foremost, it's gonna irritate you, it's gonna piss you off, but yet you still keep Facebook. You know, how many of you have looked into other platforms? How many of you are aware of other platforms? This is not just myself. Many others I follow along the same lines. Many of us conscious awareness individual people are being censored by Facebook. Not only Facebook, but by Facebook, some by Instagram, depending on the content. Instagram is actually not as bad just of yet. Twitter is shutting down many accounts as well, and what was the other one? Twitter, Instagram, YouTube is censoring content as well. But at the same time, you know, maybe it depends on what the content is. There's ways around everything, you guys. You know, there's it doesn't mean to leave these platforms or whatever. It means to look at other alternatives that don't censor these type of things and they're, that are better for you anyway. BitChute is a great platform for videos. You know, it's slowly rising. It's independently run, and on it you can receive tips and you can payments and such for your content, for your videos. So you have that aspect for everything. There's platforms for everything, literally. And many of them, and that's an awesome thing, is that many of the new ones all have monetization already enabled, which means you can make money or currency off of said platforms. Right now I'm in the process of going through, different lists and discovering different ones and bookmarking them and utilizing each one for all of, or looking at which fits the best purpose and such, or purposes, and stuff like that. And because there's a few that are specifically for artists, for people who paint and stuff. Myself, I'm an artist above all else. The top of everything, I'm an artist, creator. And so, discovering all those people who write, people who, there's music pages, you can become a musician. There's so much out there, literally, but when something gets something that is corporate owned, and that's the thing, that each of these more things are independently owned, then the corporate world is failing. Okay. And that's kind of a confirmation too. Look at it as, how do you want to look at this? How do you, there's other people out there and that have built names for themselves, that have, relied on these platforms and such, and for them to do what they're doing is bullshit. I mean, yeah, these platforms are are not owned by any of the people using them, and that's where that's where the alternative platforms come in. Is that your content cannot be censored; it's yours, and the regulations are different. So there's kind of a battle going on, and many of them operate through the dark web. But anyway, as I said, there's many options out there. There's many different platforms. There's many different, um, you know, and it does hurt, or it does, it's not the end. However, on the bright side, all of my content is, one thing that if for obvious reasons, if you haven't done, save all your content. Save everything that save your content, save your videos, save, backup or whatever. Hopefully, I assume most people have common sense to do so, especially with all this stuff going on, and just be prepared, to jump ship, so to speak. And it's not even October 1st, this is more September 1st, so we're kind of, it's crazy, this world, right now. The world change is happening right now, which is what they're trying to censor. With all this stuff, virus propaganda, political stuff, they don't want the truth known. Or they think they can censor it. It doesn't matter, it's known, it's already known. But it's not known by all, I guess. There are still people that are worshiping these celebrities. The celebrities are these wonderful people and will never do anything to hurt them or harm them, or be part of anything that hurts or harms others. I too was once that deluded. But I see through the truth, or see through the lies, and see the truth. But now is the time to look into all other platforms. Now, if you do something like art, or, as I said, there's platforms for all kinds of things, but if you're more of an artist or a writer or something like that, depending on your content, you're not going to get that heavily censored, because, it's not really, art has been controversial and is meant to be controversial, but it depends on the context of the art and such, as to what it portrays and all that stuff. So artists and people and creators and things and whatever don't really have. You have, I would say, less to worry about than those that are also, or those that work in, exposing, such as myself, that work in the exposing of truth type of thing, the evolution of humanity, consciousness kind of things, they don't want the truth getting out too much. But once again, the truth has been coming out for long before this shit existed. People have been speaking of world change for centuries. And why all of a sudden is it so, it's like, why now is all of this occurring, It's because the information and the awakening is that powerful right now. It's basically that's what these platforms are doing. They're scared, and they have to pull out these, pull out their little tiny guns and think that they're going to censor people or whatever. When, as one platform dies, another shall arise. It's the simple aspect of, within the context of good versus evil. And I don't want to say dark versus light, because for obvious reasons, the dark and the light are neither themselves good or bad. They just are. So, more so, good versus evil makes more sense and is more logical, at a logical grasp explanation. If it didn't matter, if these things weren't true, or if whatever, then there wouldn't, there wouldn't be all this censoring. There wouldn't be accounts being shut down. There wouldn't, you know what I mean? I mean, there's world awakening. There's protests worldwide right now. You're not going to see it on mainstream media. As said many times. If you haven't already, please turn off your TV, turn off your news. Research real news if you are interested in news at all. Always ask questions. Never take a story that you hear to be 100% accurate. Question every narrative. And look to other outlets. Just because one platform has shut you down or whatever, there's always ways around things. And it hurts. It does. It sucks. But it's not the end. I look at it as, well, where can I go next? Like I said, they've found many options. Maybe I'll do a video of all these platforms. If you guys want to see a video where I showcase all these platforms that I've discovered so far, leave a comment below. I'd like this, let me know. Because this one will be on YouTube. So yeah, there's that. Well, this will be on YouTube as one, at least on YouTube, probably on other platforms as well. Like I said, I'm looking into many other options, utilizing as many platforms, seeing what works the best and all that. And like I said, I'll discover look through and discover each one and all that stuff. And hopefully, don't hold your breath, but maybe Facebook will knock their shit off eventually. These people, it's all money and persuasion of money. But, as you follow the money, everything is connected by money. The elite, the banking systems, Hollywood, political, media, all of it. Follow the money. This is why these people are not that smart. They literally are leaving a paper trail or currency trail. Follow the currency, you will find evidence. You will find evidence of certain things. And I'm not going to get into those certain things in this video because that's not what it's about. I've got other stuff coming out that is about that stuff. So, there's that. But basically, yeah, keep connected, stay connected, don't just rely on one platform. Explore other options. Utilize DuckDuckGo. Google. Educate yourself. There's some good videos out there on how the internet works, for those that don't know. There's I'm going to try to explain this in a short way, but if you want a longer video, there's some awesome people out there that have explained it very well as to what the the levels, I guess, of the internet. Think of it like water, or like a lake, ocean, pond, whatever. You have the surface web. The surface web is Google, YouTube, you know, things that everyone has access to, everyone can see, you know, that's basically like, you know, for your, basically I will say, as long as you're not trying to stir shit up, which is what a lot of us are doing anyway, but, you know, is utilized for like, you know, recipes, cooking videos, art stuff, DIYs, gaming, you know, general interest type of things, hobbies, stuff like that, human interests, you know, tutorials, education, you know, those type of things, which can lead into other subtopics and such. And then you have the deep web, which again, think of water. You go down a little bit deeper, you know, which is DuckDuckGo is a up and rising search engine that is usable, that uses how it works, you know, Chrome or Google or, you know, whatever these other ones are based on one specific station or stations, you know, wherever their locations may be. But anyway, alternative servers or networks are run by, utilize the same aspects, basically, like they use your internet server. The internet, it can be accessed, you know, internet works through various codes and you know, different ways. And so with, you know, sites like DuckDuckGo or BitChute is another one. BitChute is the YouTube, basically, of the deep web. And again, all these other platforms coming up independently. Basically, the deep web is independently run. Like, if you were to take your mom and pop restaurants and, you know, basically mom and pop networks, or, you know, things like that are run through other means. And on these, you can, you know, you have access to both the service stuff and the stuff you won't find on Google or whatever, like news articles, things like that. What are these people doing? What are they not doing? You know, type of things. Many of your exposure sites are run through these, such as WikiLeaks, and so there's more freedom with that. And then there's, again, think of water. And then you have the dark web, which is the bottom. If you go to the bottom of, you know, a lake or ocean, whatever, it's dark, right? Usually, because that the sunlight, the sun rays don't reach that far, so it's darker. Hence, dark web. And the dark web is a place you want to use if you know what you're doing, I would say. You know, it's, if you want to explore the dark web, both you can explore actually all forms on the server of the dark web, but to do so, you need a Tor. Tor browser is a good one, and again, utilize YouTube. There's many ways that tell you how to do it, and one way I have a flash drive, and basically you use the flash drive method. It's just actually it's on WikiLeaks to do it, as some of the software that you need to turn your computer, and it turns any device into a deep web point. Now, if you want to just simply explore and whatever, that's fine. I would advise, you know, use common sense discretion, because the deep web or the dark web is full of good and bad things, obviously, for obvious reasons, and this is what actually we're fighting against, too. The dark web is where trafficking operates, where people can be bought and sold. I mean, people can, this is where many of movies and stuff have truth to them. As how accurate they are. Is these movies are basically telling you, in a way, painting a picture of what's happening. What does actually happen on the dark web. Like, you can view people being killed, and it's horrible. People actually do this stuff. I mean, in a way, it's like shocking. I mean, it is, it's horrible, but it's the opposite of light, I guess. It's the opposite of good. So it must exist in the world, I guess. But operates through cryptocurrency. You can, I mean, not just, you can also buy, you can get anything on the dark web if you know how to utilize Bitcoin and cryptocurrency and all that stuff. But it works with, it bounces off from network to network, and it utilizes those networks. And so it's, okay, and this is a funny example because this whole thing is about leaving Facebook. However, I must use this as an example that if you're trying to, this is kind of, was a confirmation I discovered if it works or whatever, because my Facebook login said the Netherlands, and I'm in the US. So that was, and then it went to the Netherlands and then Berlin, and so it bounces. That's the thing, it bounces off the networks all over the world, and that's how it works, basically, so that you're untraceable. And if you do it correctly, you follow the correct steps and all that, you can turn any laptop into a deep web, dark web tool. And so the overall point of that explanation is basically to show that that the internet is there's only part of the internet, there's only part of certain platforms that can be controlled and monitored. The overall aspect is the overall narrative of Facebook is on its way out if it continues to do what it's doing, and other platforms like it will soon follow. I mean, again, look at what happened with the jump from MySpace to Facebook. Granted, they will still exist, or may still exist, but the original flow, or the original, what is the word? The original intent of it is no longer there. And I could go on and on and on about how the hypocrisy of what they're doing and what they're trying to hide. But we know, we're here to do what we do to awaken, and they don't like that. Because an awakened public, an awakened world, means they no longer have control. And they don't. The way things are going, we're doing what we were meant to do, and it's actually really awesome, So let's look at it that way. Take that as what these platforms are doing, as that confirmation that the evil is losing, evil is being exposed. People are becoming creative. People are, there's so many ways to get information out there. And like I said, there's so many other options available. So, I mean, utilize your options and comment, if you have anything to add or whatever, comment below. Share your thoughts, your opinions. Like this video, share it where you can. And I'll catch you guys next time. Alright, that's all I have on this for now. I'll keep you updated as to what happens and all that good stuff. Peace out. Echo your sound.